All right. So once again, this is a webinar specifically focused around AI, the new risks of AI, and how companies are starting to utilize AI inside of their own environments, how the adversaries are starting to use AI against us, and the security tools to help protect that along the way. So as we dive through this, we're going to go do a little bit of explanation around AI in general, how myself at Intervision and Dan at Cisco, how we're working together and partnering to help protect our customers against some of these risks. So with that, click on the right window here. Myself, Aaron Brinkman, I'm a security solution architect in Intervision. I have worked in the field for about 20 years now. Started out as a security engineer at a large financial firm here in the Midwest and moved up through the ranks to become a security architect, building out the security stack, everything from on-prem endpoint solutions all the way through cloud security, containerization security, the gambits of tool sets themselves. I have worked at large tech companies as well, but the whole focus of this is really just to kind of build out that functionality and that delineation of where AI is evolving to. Most customers themselves are starting to dabble in AI itself, and what we want to do is help provide guidance and provide information on how we can help protect that. With me is Dan. I will let you go ahead and introduce yourself, Dan.
Sure. Dan Eister. I am a security TSA here at Cisco, covering on the channel side, covering partners throughout the United States. I moved over to this role in the beginning of Q3. Prior to that, I was covering select customers. Same role for Pennsylvania, Delaware, Maryland. Prior to coming to Cisco in 2018, I actually worked for a rather large partner selling and installing Cisco security solutions.
Perfect. Thanks.
Yep.
All right. So once again, just to dive into it a little bit, you guys are probably looking at generative AI or other ways of introducing AI into your environment, whether that's being chatbots or maybe some data analytics on top of some of your information inside of your environment. But the whole goal at the end of the day is to enhance your customer experience, boost employee productivity, improve business operations, and maybe add to some creativity. But the interesting concept is this is the way our customers, this is what we're seeing from our customers, this is what we're being asked from our customers. This is also what Cisco is doing on their back end. They're building in AI, they're building in technology to help improve the experience, to help improve the operations, and essentially build on that mousetrap that's already phenomenal. But so is the adversary. So attackers themselves are starting to utilize the same tools. They're using AI. They're using your own AI against you if they gain a foothold inside of your environment. And so what we want to do is focus on how can we help you build a solid platform and a solid base, and then build from there. So with that, Generative AI, once again, is powered by large language models. It's all unstructured data. And this is a little bit different than standard ML models, right? When you think of ML models, you've got specific information labeled, they're pulling out feature extraction, and they're building out specific tasks that are going to operate from that. The foundation model is a little bit more unstructured. It's a bunch of data coming into that foundation model itself, and it's being able to adapt and be able to take those tasks accordingly based off of requests through it. With that approach, if you start to manipulate the data, or if the data itself is construed or it's not contained or controlled, you can have interesting results that come out of it. And this is where adversaries are starting to lean heavily into it, is the fact that they can modify data, or they can gain access to your AI, which might have connections throughout your entire environment. So what we need to do is put guardrails up. We need to control access to it. We need to focus on how can we securely deploy these foundation models and these new AI structures inside of your environment. We want to help build those new experiences We want to help with the innovative and engaging with our customers and employees. We help with the productivity aspect of it. We want to help improve your productivity across the board and with all of your tool sets, right? So being able to utilize some of these tools to its fullest. MS Copilot is fantastic in what it can do, but if you don't contain where it can actually pull information from, you end up with situations where you have skewed results coming out of your AI. We want to actually provide insights, right? So extract specific information and make sure that we contain it to exactly what you're looking for to get the results that you're looking to accomplish. And then once again, we don't ever want to negate the creativity. So we want to make sure that we're helping in that creativity mode. And this is what we at InterVision are helping our customers with currently, using a specific AI journey. Once again, we have workshops, we have readiness approach, and we want to assess and create a foundation built on top of it. We have proof of concepts and Gen AI to actually being implemented to help with that cost savings. So at the end of the day, what we're trying to do is build up those guardrails. But what we also want to focus on is if you can't control the data, or if you can't control where this is being accessed or how it's being accessed, you still run the risk of what that threat is. And so this is the basis of the conversation today is how do we actually take what we at InterVision are doing? We're helping build these AI engines, these AI models inside of the customers, customizing apps for them. But how do we secure access to them? How do we control that? How do we mitigate these three risks? Right, using AI models, threat to the AI models themselves. And then once again, the adversaries are doing the same thing we're doing. They're building their own AI models specifically trained on malicious activity or how they can leverage existing AI models. So just a little bit of information on how they're actually doing it. Using the AI models themselves, you can see where they're starting to get creative. They're using it to impersonate executives. They're using it to generate phishing email campaigns that are more precise, a lot harder to be able to pick and pull out the data specifically for it. So what we want to do is help leverage that a little bit and help control that capability. Dan, anything you want to add to this one specifically?
Yeah, just a couple things that we were talking about earlier before we got into the webinar is, as you can see, the one that Aaron referenced about the phishing emails, that's from 2021. So this isn't something that just happened in the past 6 to 12 months. This is older than most people think. So it's been going for a long time. And the other thing is that another example of using AI models is in LLMs is the bad actors are, once they're on someone's desktop, they're looking at emails to say, how can I respond to that without the person's knowledge with proper context? So that is the next generation of using LLMs and AI to spread malware and threats across your network.
Absolutely. And that leads us to the next one, right? So we're talking about the use of it, but what about threat from AI models themselves? Shadow AI or shadow IT in general, utilizing ChatGPT on the network or using other AI type approaches, Microsoft Copilot. But if you have situations where you're not controlling what they're able to access, they can start to possibly leak information that might not be available to most people or maybe shouldn't be. So what we need to do is make sure that we essentially put a wrapper around these AI solutions and these different chatbots and control what information they can actually access, what information they can control, and where it can actually be used. And this is where Cisco's SASE solution or SSE solution really will start to help out, and we'll dive a little bit deeper into it. So ways to mitigate it. Once again, we want to tag the AI generated code. We want to make sure that we know exactly where it's at. We want to understand what we're looking at, where the information is, what data it's actually able to access, as well as use those OWASP's top 10, right? There's already some specifically developed for AI, but at the end of the day, we want to make sure that we create strong AI policies. We want to control access to and from your data and the AI applications or models themselves. we want to control what is being able to manipulate that information. So if we can control that and lock it down, we now have full visibility into making sure that there's no hallucinations or any situations where you're getting skewed data specifically. And then from that perspective, we want to monitor that activity and enforce any of these policies. Real quick, I did kind of mention it, that OWASP top 10 for large language models. Once again, there are quite a few of them out there. I'm not going to dive into every one specifically, but it is recommended that we start to dive deeper into these and start to control it, right? We don't want to have excessive over-reliance on the AI itself. When you start to dive deeper into this, it's kind of makes sense. It's to make sure that you have precise, consistent data each time you use your chatbot or your AI application. Dan, anything else you want to add before we jump into a little bit of SASE?
No, I think you covered it all pretty well.
Perfect. All right, so with that, I'm going to hand off to Dan a little bit to discuss a little where Cisco has been migrating and how they're starting to evolve their AI to help build platforms to help secure their environments.
Thanks, Aaron. So Cisco has developed 2 solutions to help with fighting these threats that AI now poses. Like Aaron said initially, AI has its place in companies today, making users more productive and so on and so forth. But it was just a matter of time until the bad actors figured out a way to use that against us. So the 2 solutions we're going to talk about today are Secure Access and Secure Connect. Really, the main difference between the 2 is Secure Connect is more for customers that are using Meraki firewalls that has a great integration with that solution. Secure Access is for everything else, even third-party firewalls and solutions like that. So there are some, there's a little bit feature parity difference, but that is being worked on the back end. That should be ironed out here by the end of the calendar year. But be sure to talk to Aaron and his team to be sure when you're looking at either of these solutions, you have the right one lined up for your needs. So with that being said, if you're an umbrella customer or have seen Umbrella, a lot of the features that you see in front of you today are very familiar. The DNS layer security, IPS, and things of that nature. All of those are going to be included in Secure Access and Secure Connect to protect your network against threats coming inbound. There's CASB as well. There's DLP, which we'll talk about in the next slide, about how they protect you from these threats that AI poses today. And as you can see, Talos' threat intelligence feeds into this as well. So you got best of breed threat intelligence feeding into this solution as well. So Aaron, you can put the next slide up. Okay. So to talk to these 3 points, what Secure Access and Secure Connect bring to the table, threat visibility, the saying of you can't protect what you can't see, it's been around forever. You need to be able to have deeper visibility into what's going on, especially with the new AI model or AI chatbots that are out there and LLMs that are out there. Be able to see what your users are doing and be sure what they're doing is legitimate. Are they out there going to chatbots that they shouldn't be? Why are they going there? Is this a brand new one that you have just discovered? And now you can say, I need to put some guardrails on it. I don't want them to have access to it, or they can have limited access to it, or maybe you feel a subset of your users can have full access and use it. On the leak prevention side of things, so CASB and DLP. So with the DLP, as you can see, the inspection of prompts and uploads. So are they trying to, you primarily use, say, OneDrive at home or at work, I'm sorry, but they want to work from home and they say, hey, well, I want to put this file to work at home because I don't have access from OneDrive at home. I'm going to put it on Google. So be able to stop them from uploading things to unwanted chatbots or shared drives or anything, or cloud storage or anything like that, to keep them from sending proprietary information out of your network that shouldn't be. All right. And then, as I said, the threat prevention, the granular controls as well, to allow people access to certain LLMs or certain AI applications out on the cloud. Maybe they can read information that's out there on them, but you don't want them to be able to download or upload data to them, right? The other thing that Secure Access and Secure Connect also provide is zero trust access. So to your networks and possibly private applications, private AI information or solutions that have been built for your network and everything. So locking them down, only allowing certain people in from certain places at certain times, and maybe only allowing people certain access to those applications that you have. So as you can see, currently we can discover and control over 75 generative AI apps, and that's including APIs. That number will continue to go up as more of those applications are out there on the Wild Wild West, and then added into Secure Access and Secure Connect. So that is how we control the AI models, accessing them today. Anything you want to add, Aaron?
No, this kind of hits on it. Is once again, from this perspective, the reason we're partnering with Cisco is they have a strong presence. They understand AI. They're utilizing AI behind the scenes to help combat these threats. And they're building in protections on top of their different controls. So when you think about accessing these specific AI applications, or controlling what actually is able to prompt or upload into your AI engine, or what's coming out of your AI engine. This is where Cisco's platform starts to help provide control around that. And we can now start to restrict and make sure that your AI applications are secure, you're not leaking data out, and you're able to control which AI apps are actually being able to be utilized inside your environment. So what we did was we combined our expertise together. We focused on our strong AI presence, building out those AI apps, being able to now tailor a SSE solution to help control access to it, control the security around your different applications or your development, as well as the rest of your network itself, using Cisco's SASE and SSE solutions, Secure Connect and Secure Access. And what we're doing is delivering these as services for our customers. So we have the capability to partner with them. We deliver a single, streamlined, unified platform approach. We tailor that support for it. So we want to make sure that we craft it to your specific business needs or your requirements. And we utilize that expertise on our back end, as well as Cisco's cutting edge capabilities. So we want to focus on making sure that we bring a solid solution using both Cisco and Intervision expertise end to end. And then from that perspective, we have assessments ongoing for management, or for AI, or even for that SSE journey, that zero trust journey. Being able to make sure that we facilitate and dedicate our teams for you, we can actually build out that assessment and dive a little bit deeper into it. So with that, our call to action is feel free to reach out to your account managers. Feel free to reach out to myself, to Dan. We'll have that information available to you, but our whole goal is to help make sure that you're secure in your deployment of AI or your utilization of current AI solutions. And we can run assessments for understanding where all of those AI platforms or applications are running today. We can run assessments on how your practice is, where your data is located, so that we can control and restrict how you actually access that information, as well as additional assessments across the board, maybe a full security assessment as it stands. But our whole goal, once again, is to get you in that secure model and where we're protecting your application and your data. So feel free to reach out to us. But with that, I will open it up for questions. Do we have any questions from the team or from our participants?